So I've been using a Samsung Galaxy S23 for about 2 weeks now, and there's just something about this phone that makes me pick it up over my very own S23 Ultra. Samsung did such a good job with this phone, but I feel like this phone is being overshadowed by this phone. And if you think about it, this phone for $400 more doesn't really offer all that much over this phone. Aside from like the obvious, right? The camera, the better camera, the bigger battery, and just the bigger display, and of course the S Pen. But that just depends if you even care about those things. If you don't care about those things, you're getting the same package with this phone, and I truly appreciate Samsung for not putting in a slower chipset or an older chipset into their flagship phones, but the budget. Or the what's the word I'm looking for? Hang on. The base model flagships. That's what I should have said. The base model flagships, right? You hear that, Apple? Because we all know with the iPhone 14s, if you're getting the 14, you're getting the A15. But if you're getting the 14 Pro, you're getting the A16, right? So that's what I mean. Samsung, thanks for that. After using the S23, the size of the phone is definitely the sweet spot for many people. I mean, at least from the hundreds of comments that I get from you guys telling me about it. And, it's whenever you're using this phone, whenever you're holding the phone, you don't ever feel like it's going to just randomly drop out of your hands. You don't have to dislocate your thumb to reach the top of the display like you do with bigger phones. And, when people ask me, hey, Mark, which phone should I get? Most of the time, and you know this if you've ever DM'd me, most of the time I always tell you, get the most comfortable phone for you, especially if you're asking me about a large phone compared to a small phone. Always get the most comfortable phone, because it doesn't matter how good a phone is if it's just not comfortable to use on a day-to-day basis. This phone is mwah, baby. That was cringy, never doing that again. Battery life has been nothing short of amazing on this phone. I'm getting roughly 7 to 7.5 hours of battery life, which is just nuts. This is the first Samsung phone, or small Samsung phone, that I've used that I never really worry about battery life ever. Like, if this didn't even have a battery icon, I would be okay with it. Don't even tell me what the battery life is, because I just know it's good. I mean, look how thin this phone is. Like right about there, right? That's insane for a phone to last that much, be as powerful as it is, and be this thin. By the way, I know some of you are gonna ask me, hey Mark, what case is this? I'll have a link down below. It's not for drop protection, but it's definitely for scratch resistance, and like I said, it's just super thin, even with the case. I mean, it's pretty good. I really like the software experience of Samsung as well. I feel like they're really stepping up their game, because I know a few years back, it was still debatable if Samsung's One UI was good, was smooth, was polished, but I have not run into any bugs with this phone or with the S23 Ultra. They're just both performing how I want them to. Whatever I do, they're like, yes sir, let me do that for you. Oh god, I need to stop with these lame jokes, huh? Anyway, this phone is just behaving the way I want it to. No bugs, no glitches. And I think, Samsung fanboys, relax, okay? Relax, don't attack me yet. But I think Samsung copied Apple by how you change the lock screen. And if you don't know, you click and hold, you put in your thumb, and then you can just customize the lock screen. You can click on it, do whatever you want. I think they copied Apple. But you know what? I don't care. You want to know why? Because it works. And if something works, why not copy it? That's how I passed school. But I really like how you can actually change the bottom icons to be like what you want, the shortcuts. I have mine set to a flashlight, this one for camera. So useful, man, because I don't like to go into the control panel to click on the flashlight. iPhones also have the flashlight icon there, so I kind of just copied Apple by Samsung copying Apple, which is ironic. Is that the word? I don't know, but I really like that feature. And I just feel like if you compare Samsung's One UI 5.1, the newest update, compare that to even a few years ago, and honestly, it's a night and day difference. I mean, this phone just feels finished. It's not like I'm going to get hate for saying this, but it's not like getting a Pixel. Whenever you get a Pixel, there's always bugs. There's just always bugs, at least for me. Maybe not for you, at least for me, there's always bugs. And then you buy it, and then you have to wait for the phone to get better. Now, I still love Pixel. I love where they're headed there. I love where they're going, but they're not there yet. They have a flat tire, and sometimes their axles are broken. With Samsung, like I said, this is just a personal experience, but I feel like they're there. The cameras are also something that have been very fun to use, and they will definitely bring you a ton of great results. The photos are comparable to the competition, and you know what? In many scenarios, they surpass the competition. With Samsung now promising 4 years of operating system updates and 5 years of security updates, man, I'm telling you right now, mark my words from Mark, Samsung will get to the level of Apple in terms of OS updates and security updates. Dude, watch. Just watch. It'll happen. They're already doing even better than many other Android brands. For example, even Google. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now just because I know someone's going to fact check me. So Google has 5 years of security updates, which is as good as Samsung, but you only get 3 years of operating system updates. Meanwhile, like I said, Samsung is doing 4 years. So that's kind of ironic because Android is Google, right? Google is Android. Google made Android. And now Samsung is ahead of Android, if that makes sense. So it's no secret that Samsung is slowly trying to become the best, if maybe they already are, in the Android world. But let me know what you think about Samsung. Are they doing a good job on Android? Are they doing a bad job on Android? What do you guys want changed? What do you guys want left alone? I want to know because that's kind of my whole job. Now, some of the downsides of this phone are basically the same as my last video, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, which is a good thing because I haven't really found any other downsides. But just a quick mention, battery charging, or the speed at which the battery charges. I feel like America, or at least the United States, I don't want to say America because that's a continent, but at least in the country of the US, I feel like we're getting screwed because we don't have a fast charging phone. When companies say fast charging 2.0, Samsung, 1 hour I don't consider fast charging. That's just charging nowadays because with the Xiaomi 13 that I've also been using, this phone is like, it's like a breath of fresh air. You plug it in, you blink 3 times, you spin around, and the phone's done charging. It's like witchcraft. With this phone, you could take a shower, eat some dinner, watch a show really quickly, and it'll then be done charging. I know Samsung is probably worried about like their whole battery fiasco that they had going on a few years back. You couldn't take this on a plane. We remember those days. But like it's not like Samsung is using some different battery technology that puts their batteries at danger and other batteries not at danger. If other companies can do it, so can Samsung. By the way, did you guys know Samsung has their own military department? And you're telling me we can't fast charge? I don't believe that. I feel like this is the best Android experience for not spending a huge amount of money. Okay, I know this phone is expensive. Maybe in your country, this phone might be over $1,000. I get that. But like in majority of the world, I want to say, this phone is not that expensive relative to some of these other beasts that are out there. I mean, even the Xiaomi 13 Pro is more expensive, and Xiaomi with their software is nowhere close to Samsung, just being honest. They're good, but not quite there yet. With the S23 Ultra, man, this phone is really expensive in other countries. So when it comes to flagship phones, when it comes to future-proofing yourself with 4 years of OS updates, 5 years of security updates, when it comes to amazing and optimized cameras, when it comes to amazing battery life, flagship processor, this phone I feel like is really the perfect sweet spot. And also Samsung is still running promotions. Hey, Samsung, how are you guys not losing money? I really don't get it. They're still running promotions. If you don't know, you can save up to $800, and Samsung is giving you $100 to use for like accessories and stuff like that. I'll have a link down below. So you can basically get this phone for $100 in the US. It's a no-brainer. With the S23 being literally $400 cheaper than the Ultra model, and like I said earlier in the video, you're not really getting a whole lot extra with the Ultra model. I mean, you get a few things, but I don't feel like those few things are worth $400 for the average person. If you're the Ultra user, get the Ultra. If you're the average user, even more than average, above average, right? This is it. This is perfect. So I'll continue making updates on the S23 lineup as time goes on, including some OS updates as they come out. So if you guys are interested, definitely click that like button to let me know that you are interested, because if you're not, then I'm not really going to do videos on it anymore. If you are new here, consider subscribing. And let me know what you think about the S23 series. Is Samsung doing a good job with them? Is Samsung doing a poor job with them? Let me know down below, and you'll also be helping other people out that are going to be reading your comments. So it's always a good thing. And that's it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.